Hi there. Well, it is so good to be back here today talking with all of you. I have missed you so much. You have no idea. It has been a really overwhelming past 6 months, but particularly the last month. And just to be able to sit down today and have the time just to talk with you has been something I've really been looking forward to. It means a lot to me, and I didn't realize just how much I missed everyone until I had this very long absence. As most of you probably know at this point, my husband's father, David's dad, passed away April 11th after a relatively short battle with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. He was diagnosed back in October, and while he was showing symptoms before that, the disease really sort of kicked in and started progressing really rapidly, particularly after his diagnosis. And so we have been dealing with that these past 6 months. It's been extremely stressful for our entire family with his particular course of the disease and the form of it that he had. I think a quick progression was actually a blessing if you can look at it that way. He was just suffering quite a bit, and more so at the end, and so to see someone like that is really difficult. And so you never really think that someone passing away is a blessing, but in this case I think that it was for the best toward the end, and maybe in some ways knowing his suffering helped us say goodbye to him in some way. And I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but it's just it's been a lot. It's been pretty hectic and stressful and all those things, but in the midst of that we've also had some laughs that we typically have in our family. We had some great holidays, and so there's been lots of good times and lots of very sad times, but I just have to say that at this point I think we feel some relief. There's a lot of emotions, but I think relief is the one that maybe today that we're feeling the most. It's just been so much, and we know that Dad is in a much better place now and finally at peace. So and David and I both just want to express so much our sincere gratitude for all of your kind messages, and also from my mother-in-law as well. I sat down with her and read her the comments from the past videos when I've shared about Dad's illness, and we just as a family want to thank you so much. That meant so much to us, and when I was reading her these comments, she's just like, I can't believe there's all these people out there wishing us well and thinking of us, and she was just really touched by all of that. So please do accept our sincere gratitude for that. It just meant a lot to us. It's not been possible for me to respond to everyone, but when David and I are sitting down at the end of the day and I'm looking at comments and just seeing that encouragement and the support, and maybe some of you that have been through it or understand, it just really meant a lot to us. It makes you feel a lot less alone. And I don't want to get choked up now, but it's been hard. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta stop. Okay, so I am gonna pull it together here, because really what I want to do at this point is move on to happier things. I want to get this channel back to what it's always been, talking about beauty and lifestyle products. And I definitely think that I am better off, and I think David would say the same, that we are better off for having had this experience, and we feel like that in some ways, while it was really tough, it did enrich our lives. We learned a lot. It built some character in us that wasn't there before, and we just feel like we're stronger. But at this point, I want to keep this channel positive and happy, and I think that's probably what all of you want too, because we do have to move on, and we do have a whole lot to look forward to. So I do want to say that we have a lot of work ahead of us. My mother-in-law is going to be moving out closer to us right now. They are an hour and a half away, or she is an hour and a half away, and that's been part of our stumbling blocks, because every time we go over there, which was really often, we have an hour and a half drive each way. And so we're finally going to get her moved over here so she's closer to us and we can keep an eye on her and know what she's up to and just spend some more quality time together and things like that. So I'm telling you all this to tell you that I am going to be doing my best to try to post once a week again, but if I can't, you'll know that we are going to be in a big process of selling her home and buying a new home and moving and doing all of that. But I am going to try to show my face a little bit more often and regularly, and selfishly because I miss you guys so much and I just really want to be here too. And this is something that is something that I really look forward to and that I enjoy and I have missed incredibly. So with all of that being said, I wanted to do a favorites video. I know it is so late, so this is still going to be March favorites, maybe somewhat abbreviated, but I do have a few things that I've really enjoyed this month, and then I think before I know it, I'm going to be into April favorites, but I did not want to pass over these things because with everything going on, there are still those little things that really make us happy and that we enjoy, and I think those things are so important. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is a little hand lotion that really surprised me. So I was at Target and I had to buy some travel size items for our trip up to New Jersey, which is where my father-in-law was buried. And so I needed some hand lotion for my purse because I had finished these not CeraVe, excuse me, Cetaphil hand lotion that I had. So I saw this in the travel section. This is from Vaseline. It's the Intensive Care Advanced Repair. This is unscented. What caught my eye about it and also sort of made me cautious was that it says it has micro droplets of Vaseline jelly. So my first thought was, that might make my hands kind of greasy, but I was also sort of interested in it. So I picked it up. It didn't cost a lot. I think it was probably under $2, but this has really impressed me. It's not greasy at all. It does take, I would say, a few extra seconds to sink in, but when it does, it has such a nice feel on my hands. It makes them very soft. Vaseline's not a brand in the past that I've been just bowled over with their products, but this one I really like, and it is something I would repurchase. I really like the size. It's 2 ounces, so I was able to put this in my carry-on bag and then put it back in my purse once we got home. But I really enjoy this, probably more so than I did the Cetaphil, and I really liked that one. I think it was a favorite at one point, but this is pretty good stuff. So if you have a chance to try that, I would recommend it. The next thing I want to talk to you about is my most favorite item of the month. I am wearing it right now. This is the Dior Addict lipstick in True. This is my first one. It won't be my last one. I am so impressed with this. So as many of you probably know, I've probably said it 100 times in my videos, I love Dior lip glow. I am absolutely infatuated with that product. So I was really curious about how their lipsticks would measure up against that, so I decided to get one of these. This is from their relaunched Dior Addict lipstick line last year. I looked at swatches online obsessively until I settled on this color. But as you can see, it's just a really beautiful, and for me, my lips, but better color. It's like a rosy kind of reddish pink. It is very sheer. Let me go ahead and swatch this for you. It's sheer enough to where it's not too overwhelming of a color, but it does have enough coverage to be pretty nice with just one swipe. I'd probably go back and forth a couple of times, but here, let me do a few swipes for you. So this is what it looks like. I am so in love with it. It goes with everything. It is neutral enough that it pairs with just about any blush I've tried. I think I've tried 3 different ones with it, but it really just enhances the look of my lips. It's got just enough shine, not too glossy. It's got good moisture, but not so much that it travels. It's got that just nice amount of slip to keep my lips comfortable, but not greasy. I just cannot say good things about it. I would definitely like to have at least 1 or 2 more colors from this, and there are so many choices. One thing I would caution you about with this, or at least it's something that I was concerned about, some of the shades do have glitter in them, and I wish that I could tell you exactly which ones, but it's not easy to tell just from looking at them. I may overlook that at some point because my understanding is that the shimmer that's in them is really fine. What I tend to not like about that is that when it wears off, I don't like anything being left over. So I'm going to have to kind of swatch them and see how I feel about it. But this color True does not have that. It's just got just the shiny pigmentation that you see. There are a couple of colors also that are really sheer. I think Smile was one of them. And to me on the surface that looked like a really beautiful color, but it was way too sheer. I actually had a sample of that I tried that I gotten with a previous Sephora order, and it was really, really sheer. So to me that wasn't even worth buying because it just didn't have enough pigmentation. But if you wanted something that was really more like a lip balm, that might be a good choice for you. But do check into that. There are just so many color options. I was trying to remember, I think Tribal, it's maybe Tribale, I think it's Tribal. That was a color I was interested in, sort of a pinky coral. But in any case, I'm going on and on about this, but I love this color. I've been obsessed with it this past month. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is an old reliable favorite. I'm also wearing it today, but it was something that I traveled with, and it was something that I just grabbed because I knew it was going to go with everything that I wore. Is one of my favorite all-time blushes. This is the Chanel Rose Petal. This is one of those tea with the queen kind of colors, as I like to say. It just goes with everything, as you can tell. It's just very neutral. It's a very pretty, classic, feminine pink. I think it has just enough of a touch of a maybe coral color to it to make it really neutral. It's light, it's pretty, it doesn't have too much brown. I don't know, it's just one of those great colors I think would look good on most skin tones. If you do have a darker skin tone, I think you're gonna need to work a little bit more. One of the things that I like about this is that it isn't overly pigmented, so it goes on very sheer, but that does sometimes mean that you have to work a little bit harder to build up the color, and even I do on my fair skin. So it does take a little bit of work, but I would always rather add more than have to be really careful and have it look too clownish or anything like that. So this is a great color. I think that there is, I wouldn't say shimmer, maybe there is a touch of sheen to this. It's mostly, I want to say it looks matte, but I don't think that it is completely matte, so I don't want to say that, but there is no obvious shimmer or glitter in this, maybe just a really beautiful sheen when you see it in the pan. So gotta love reliable colors like that. So those are the 3 beauty products I wanted to share with you this month, and now let's move into some lifestyle favorites. My first lifestyle favorite is probably a little bit straddling the categories of beauty and lifestyle because it is a little makeup bag. I know I am crazy with the bags, but this one is so cute and so adorable. Spoiler alert, I do have a couple more bag videos coming up that I travel with, but I will talk to you about that in another video. For now, this is my new makeup case that I am carrying in my purse for every day. So I think I showed you a while back in a What's in My Bag video. I bought this really cute little Le Sport sack bag, and I thought, well, this is going to be great for me because I am really going to limit the amount of lipsticks and lip products that I carry in my purse. I'm only going to have 2 or 3, and that's going to be great. It's going to make my life so much easier. And that didn't last very long because, let's face it, I like my lip options. So when I saw this, I fell in love. I love the classic quilted sort of Chanel-esque design. I think it never really goes out of style. If this isn't for you, I think there was at least 10 to 15 other options, but this is just the one that really caught my eye. It has a nice U-shaped zipper on it. You open it up inside and it is fully lined with a clear PVC lining, so you won't have to worry about any spills in here. It's got 3 pockets along the back. You could definitely fit a small compact in here, which I have, but my current compact, which is a MAC mineralized skin finish, is too large and thick to go in there. So what I've been doing is standing up all of my little lipsticks with the labels showing at the bottom, so that way I can see what's in there. But I've got 3, I think my Dior was in there, so let me show you how many you can fit in here. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 lip products along the back there, and then I've got more down here along with my compact, a concealer and a lip pencil, but I can still fit more things in here. But I just really, really love this. It is so cute, and I really like that it has that lining on the inside. So let's face it, I am just going to have to be real with myself and realize that I am never going to be one of those people that just carries 1 or 2 lip products. So I am glad to have a little bit of room to grow in here, and I will link to this down below if you are interested. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is a watch. I haven't worn a watch in a really long time, and I just got the bug that I really wanted to wear one again. Sometimes I think that it can be a little bit intrusive and rude when you're sitting at the table with someone. You need to know what time it is, so then I fish around in my bag to get out my phone and hit the screen. And I think sometimes it's just a little bit nicer to be able to just glance at your watch and know what time it is. And I've just gotten so used to relying on my phone that I kind of stopped wearing one. But this one was something I was really excited about. So I have really always loved the look of the Cartier watches, particularly the Ballon Bleu, I believe it's pronounced. It's probably not even close to true, but there's probably not going to be a scenario in which I'm ever going to be able to buy the Cartier watch, so I wanted to find something that had that very similar classic Roman numeral style look. So this is what I bought. Is from Peugeot. It is very reasonable. I shopped around a little bit. Kohl's online had it, but I found the best deal on Amazon. I think I paid about $45 for it, if I remember correctly. And I think the price went up and down within a few dollars when I was looking at it, but this is probably upside down. Such a beautiful classic watch. It does have a larger face on it, which was something that was a little bit difficult for me to get used to, but I will say that I have a very, very tiny child-size wrist. This bracelet you always see me wearing, this isn't a child size, so I had to take quite a few links out of this, but now it does fit comfortably. It feels really, really nice, and I like that it's large enough for me to see. But it's just sort of on trend, I guess, with the larger watches that have been in style the last few years for women, but I really, really love it, and it goes with everything. It's got a really pretty light silver face and then blue hands, and I love the Roman numerals on it. I like that particular type of styling, and I'm glad it was really affordable. So, moving on to my next favorite, I always share a snack with you, and this month is no different. So this time around, I wanted to share with you a popcorn snack. We were out one evening taking my mother-in-law to dinner, and I didn't realize that there was a Trader Joe's up the street from the restaurant we were at. So we popped in there really quickly, and they had something I'd never seen before. This is the Trader Joe's popcorn with herbs and spices, and wow, is this good. Now, it's not so heavily seasoned that it's salty, and it's not overwhelming with flavor, but it does have a little bit of dill, a little bit of celery salt. Let me see what else they have on here. Sea salt, dried dill, celery seed, onion powder, sugar, and then citric acid and spices. Such a nice flavor. I think if you didn't know that it was herbs and spices, you might think maybe it was a white cheddar popcorn, but I couldn't get enough of this stuff. I really plowed through this bag. It was delicious, and I will absolutely be buying it again when I get over there, and I wanted to share that with you. I've actually been hanging on to this bag because I finished it quite a while ago, and my husband said, "Is there a reason we're keeping an empty popcorn bag on the fridge?" I said, yes, I have to talk about this in my favorites video, so that is something that I wanted to mention to you this month. So I think that is going to do it for my March favorites. Be on the lookout for a couple of bag reviews and April favorites. I think I may have an empties coming up. There's a lot to catch up on. I had so many things planned before everything sort of happened, and I really thought there was a lot more videos I was going to get to, and hopefully now I can start bringing those to you. Thank you again so much for sticking with me, for your support, for your kind words. Just knowing that you all were here kind of seeing us through this meant a lot, and I am really happy to be back, and I just look forward to having a little bit more normalcy and sharing fun things with you from now on. So I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.